Victoria Atkin. Applause. Once again, you brought some beer with you, Bavaria. You like Bavaria?
It's going to be about Assassin's Creed, but also about your television work.
Okay.
Starting off, you did television as well as video games. I think you acted as well, right, in a bodysuit?
Yeah.
So we have Paul Amos.
Yes.
Victoria Atkin, famous in the world of Assassin's Creed, both Assassins as well.
Just famous in the world, really.
We spent 4 months, 6 days a week, non-stop doing that, bringing Evie and Jacob to life. So not only do they have our voices, they have our facial expressions and our body movements. So it was fun, wasn't it?
Yeah, everything you do. Like if you're like trying to open something, that was me with a piece of wood trying to open something.
Yeah, you have
Fast.
no props.
That was
you have
hard.
No props or costume.
Now it's easy.
So that's the difference.
Yeah.
No props, no costume, no set.
Yeah, I had a wooden box that was meant to be a dog.
Well, that works.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it had
You have to
little
have a big
balls on it.
imagination, which thankfully both of us do. So.
I think, well, for you, I know you from Lost Girl mostly, which I absolutely love, and that's also like sci-fi special effects, of course. So did that help? And for you, you're playing in Extinct.
Yeah.
Did it help for your role in that?
I'd done television work before. I was on a show called Hollyoaks, which I think you guys get here. So I did that for a long time, 18 months, which was doing 6 days, 5 days a week on that, but like a 9 to 5 job. But it definitely helped. I mean, Fina, my new character, is very much like a live action version of Evie. It's lots of the fitness side of motion capture. It's really important for actors, I think, especially if you're working in action. It really trains you and keeps you in shape and keeps your endurance up for long shoots. So it definitely prepared me in that way.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess on Lost Girl, my special effects didn't really come into it too much, especially with Vex. I mean, it was kind of like everything I did was almost like motion capture to a degree because I had to imagine I had these powers. It's like, yes, I can make you do things. That's pretty much all it was. I actually didn't do most of the work. The funny thing is, people are always like, "Oh, I love that scene. I love that scene. I loved it when you did that." And you're like, I actually didn't really do anything. I said it was the other actors who made it look like I was controlling their body. So I used to get so much for free. I'm just doing this, and the other people are like trying to take all their clothes off and stuff, and while dancing to MC Hammer.
I think yours was one of the most interesting characters, also because of the growth you went through.
Yeah, the arc was, anything you do, and particularly when you realise that you have a show that is going to go on for a while, then you could start, really playing with arcs. And I was lucky, and they listened to me a lot. So I was largely responsible
You didn't get that
for
from
that
Assassin's
arc.
Creed, did you? People listening to you.
No one listened to me, or you never listened to me. You might have had a better game if you'd listened to me.
Oh, right, yeah, okay. Whatever.
Your performance might have been better as well.
Oh my goodness, because I didn't get recognised for my work and you did.
So you became best friends.
This just carries on.
Oh no, I'll do it.
Who's got a question?
Where are your sunglasses? Yeah, thanks.
You can wear it. Go and chat Victoria up. Who's got a question? You didn't pee yourself, did you?
Is it a load of water? Why is there water on the floor?
I peed myself again. I should never drink beer at midday.
She saw you and then that happened.
How much did you play with the other actors on the Assassin's Creed? Because I noticed Chris Holden-Reed is on there as well.
Yeah, I got Chris that job. Yeah. I did.
We had a lot of good theatre actors came aboard from Canada, didn't we?
Yeah, I think they learned their mistakes from some of the other games, whereby they were getting actors that weren't necessarily from where they were supposed to be, and when you're playing with sound, particularly in games, it can be a bit jarring. So they actually flew a lot of people over from the UK.
Yeah, with some great actors.
Nearly everybody they flew.
Yeah, Sam Crane, who's doing a lot of work at the Globe, and Jazz Deal, who plays Henry Green in the game.
Gavin. Was at the RSC a lot.
Yeah, so it was good. It was nice. It was really nice. We had a mix of Brits and Canadians, and
yeah, it was nice because I could be a real arsehole, and people got it.
And he got paid for it.
Yeah, as opposed to people thinking I was for real.
That's the best, right?
Yeah, I know.
How often do you get to do that?
I know, and there was loads of words that I could finally say without offending people, which was good as well.
Because you were being told to say them.
What?
Because you were being told to say them.
I was being told. Which ones? Are you thinking of the same words I'm thinking?
I guess those weren't in the script.
No, they were not in the script. Those words did not make it on into the game. That wouldn't have passed the Ubisoft test.
And I was doing an audition piece that was from My Fair Lady, and they were telling me to make it badass. And so I was doing that, and went through these other rounds, and then I read some sides from The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. So I thought, oh wow, this might be a video game of that. That would be really cool. They said, no, it's not that. I said, oh, okay. So I go, and I did the audition with the director, the final round, and they all come up to me after, and we're having lunch. They say, do you know what this is? Do you know what this is? And I was like, oh, no, I don't. Tell me. And they were like, it's Assassin's Creed. And I literally had to be like, yeah, woo! And then I had to look it up.
And speaking of like Lost Girl and Holy Oaks, like, they were both very kind of taboo subjects as well, because you played someone transgender, Jason.
Yeah.
And with Lost Girl, basically the bisexual and every relationship. Has that given you any more response at these conventions?
We've never really discussed that actually. That both of us have quite a big LGBT following. Particularly in the UK, people definitely discuss Hollyoaks with me, and I really love talking to trans kids that still write or still come and talk to me and say how much that's helped them, and how much that story line was able to allow them to explore and discuss what they had been feeling. So, I mean, for me, it's hugely rewarding, and I really love that following that I have on social media. But I think particularly in the UK and Europe, it seems to be the US, they have it on Hulu, but I don't think they have the Jason Jasmine storyline over there. I think they started later with the episodes. So.
They also don't give the same kind of airtime and scope as much in the US to those kind of storylines and those subject matters. But it was interesting being in Lost Girl because I think it being a North American show, it was filmed in Canada. It was actually a 100% Canadian show. It was one of the first shows to really break a lot of those boundaries in the US. We did a lot on that show, and a lot of other shows followed suit after that, particularly with the more female-orientated relationships. But from my perspective, it's funny because I even think it's kind of followed me into Assassin's Creed a little bit.
Yeah. How?
Because there's a whole thing of Jacob. There was one sequence where one of the characters, if you haven't played the game, kisses him at the end. He's an older gangster type guy who's kind of sort of in love with Jacob. So there's this whole thing in the fandom now where Jacob is a bisexual character.
That's interesting.
So and then because they realised I played Vex, and then how Vex was a Lost Girl, it's they've given it. Oh yeah, well clearly he is. So it's something that's followed me into the game, and apparently Jacob braids Evie's hair.
Yeah, we found that out yesterday.
Yeah.
So
Evie has these beautiful braids in her hair, and there's a thing that Jacob does the braiding, which plays even more into the idea that he might be bisexual. Although that would be stereotypical.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think the fact that they lost their parents is a big factor to the way that they show up in the game. So I don't know whether it was concluded that he is bisexual. I don't think so. I don't really think he is, but it was interesting that the fans saw that, and then the Vex thing kind of helped
Yeah, I mean, from my perspective, it was that there was an older guy. He needed a father figure, right? And this old guy
maybe went too far
with it. But the old guy was actually in love with him. But he, you just saw a father figure, and then it confused him.
I'd like to ask a question.
To Nigel. Any questions for Nigel? Nigel.
Yeah.
Have you ever played the game, or were you familiar with?
No, I hate it.
We played the game on when we were working on it. So at the final stages, we would go in a couple of weekends in a row after shooting. They would show us the play tests, and so we were able to improvise different lines and different parts of the script that they wanted us to add some things. So that was good, but it was glitching a lot. So
So on these play tests, you'd run around like in your character. We had to do it every weekend. So we'd spent months now, working on this game and trying to get these assassins right. Get all the body shapes and be really cool. And then when this game would break, the character would like glitch out a little bit, and then it would just go.
Yeah. So all our hard work, these characters
so
would just fly.
Here's my assassin. And then they would fly your assassin around the city of London so that they could get to the point where they could start again. And I was like, what is this?
Yeah, it was kind of disheartening.
It's a little disheartening. It's just
but it was good. I mean, it was good to see it. And also we were able to contribute that, especially the train sequence at the beginning. We were, both of us were like, this doesn't look like England, the landscape. So they were able to say, oh, okay.
Do you know what, though? They kept that, and I asked about it, and they did their research on that. It's because all the trees at that point in time were young. They replanted a lot of trees. Yeah, apparently in London. There were a lot of trees were taken down and used, so there were a lot of new trees, which I kind of found interesting.
It looked like a completely different
It looked like
place.
a completely different landscape. It's really interesting. Yeah, how your landscapes are often it's all defined by what your growth, right? And it just looked so barren and odd. It would look like something out in North America.
Yeah, it really did.
Yeah.
So it was like, this doesn't.
It's like it's Sudbury or somewhere.
Yeah.
It's going to be a TV show now.
Apparently so. We don't know anything about that, but apparently there is. The game
should be
spot.
interested in that.
Of course.
Oh, I'd love to play a real life Jacob. It'd be awesome.
Of course, yeah.
In Victorian England.
Yeah, it's such a great time period, and it's such a wonderful thing. And to extend the characters, I mean, we lived and breathed them for a year of our lives, and the fans are just incredible as we experience all around the world.
I love cut-off gloves. Get to wear cut-off gloves every day.
Which is
something
you normally wear anyway, so it's quite good. But no, I think it would be amazing. Can you imagine just having the hidden blades and doing all
real
that?
hidden blades too, the ones that look really real.
Yeah, that would be great. I don't know, were they discussing that as an animation or an actual
live action?
Live action, wow.
Actually, not really sure.
I don't think they are either. No one really knows it.
Oh, cool. Yeah. No, that would be amazing.
That would be cool.
It would be a very expensive show to do because the time periods would be fascinating for set designers.
Yeah.
But it would be interesting how they would weave on that show.
It's cool. I mean, especially the dynamic between the siblings is great.
Yeah.
There's so many things to go from that. So it'd be good. I mean, I'm working on this live action at the moment, and it's great. It's so much fun to.
It's not as good without me, though, is it?
Yeah, I do. I mean, on most days I cry in my trailer thinking, wish Paul was here. No.
Feel enough.
No, I don't. But that show should be good. It's also Scott Cardy wrote Ender's Game. He's written this new TV show with Aaron Johnson, who's a cool sci-fi writer too. So that's coming out October 1st. So, yeah.
Yeah, I can't wait to watch that.
I know you're gonna be sitting there judging.
Yeah, just judging, waiting to give my 4 out of 10.
Can't wait, because I think your input is going to be extremely valuable.
Oh yeah.
My friend has a favorite line of you in Syndicate, which is, "Who's a good horse? You are."
Who's a good horse? You are.
Thanks.
Yeah, that'll be €30, please. No, not joking. It's more for voice recordings.
One final question: what's the best fan experience you've had being at a convention or any other?
Oh wow, one fan experience. That means So many. I mean, I love seeing the Evie cosplays when the kids. I had somebody yesterday come up and she'd made the whole thing by hand, and it looks incredible. I love seeing the cosplay and the effort that people go into. But I think really it's when kids tell you the stories of how they've, how that's kind of saved them, and it was a great escape experience for them to spend time away from issues maybe at home that they were struggling with. So for me, that's always a good, rewarding thing to do.
One of the fascinating things for me, or was a fascinating realization when we first started doing conventions for the video game, because I was doing them for Law School prior to that, is that we were in Liverpool and Birmingham, but Liverpool in particular. The kid would come up and maybe be about 13, 14, and his parents would be with him, and the mother or father would be filming the exchange on the side, which is a bit of a no-no generally. You're not usually supposed to do that. And it happened once, and I thought, okay, I'll let that go. And then it happened again with somebody else, and then it happened a third time. And I just thought it was really weird, right? Because I've been doing these conventions and I'd never really seen this before. So I had to ask the father who was filming. And it was because the children were autistic. And the video games have like a huge section of autistic people that play the games, because particularly Assassin's Creed, because it has things that they can actually connect with. So for the first time, their parents were experiencing their child actually connecting with something on an emotional level, and they were literally filming it. And I kind of thought that was a pretty amazing thing for video games. Yeah, is that they have access to for autistic people, which is is great in a way.
Yeah, amazing.
So,
thank you very much.
Thank you for having us.
Is it possible to take a picture?
Sure.
Yeah.
That'd be 20 euros, please.
Cosplay Assassin's Creed outfit today. Raise your hand. I think you should all come up and show everyone these because they're so good. Come on. Come on. And we should have a picture. Someone should take some pictures of this. So cool.
Wait, hey, shut up, Lydia! I'm talking!
This is Assassin's soundtrack. This is my singing. This is the Ezio family tune. Thanks everyone. You guys are so great. Thank you. Come and see us and we'll sign your games and things.
I think so. He says 1 more second. I'm not sure.
I just think we should just take this away from the child, just in case it looks so weird.
Would be bad publicity for the Dutch Comic Con as well.